Medica Nova Wellness Studio. I'm Angelica Maria Koch with your educational videos about how to live optimal health and vibrant well-being as I continue to guide you step by step through an amazing and life-transformative process, empowering you to connect with your body and soul in a completely new way again. Let's continue and explore more over-the-counter first-aid homeopathic remedies and how to support your children and teenagers in times of change, especially in the school environment. In my last video, I mentioned the homeopathic remedy Arnica montana, in which I guided you to the idea that in order to understand and experience and feel the magic of homeopathic remedies, you will have to get to know the core essences of these remedies. And in order to do that, allow yourself to birth a new perspective and how to relate to vibrational medicine as well as your body. So today we are exploring the theme of back to school and how to support your children and teenagers in times of change. For example, a student due to a residential move is now faced to adapt to a new school environment, new teachers, new friends. Or another pupil who just finished high school is now entering college life. Or another student who has been exposed to the private school sector for years maybe has decided to go into the public school. Or a very young child who completed kindergarten and is now embracing the first day of school. For most of the children, this can be an exciting time, but for some, this can be a very anxious and challenging time. You know, we adults, we just buckle up and get through such challenges, but for them, these can be life-changing events to such a degree that it has an impact not just on their emotional and mental well-being, but also on their school performances. Homeopathy can be really helpful here. So often these situations can create feelings of anxiety, fear, even panic, homesickness. What will the new environment look like? Will I be able to make new friends? All of these thoughts and emotions are now starting to occupy these young souls, minds and hearts. The first remedy which comes to mind here is Gelsemium sempervirens or Gelsemium. It is yellow jasmine and is native to the southern US and belongs to the family of Leucinaceae. The core essence of Gelsemium is very much about anxiety of anticipation and feeling heavy and weak. So the physical expression will be the hands start to tremble, the body starts to shake, the knees maybe start to knock, and the student is very anxious to the point of even getting panicky. It can be even going to the dentist. It's a very beautiful remedy to calm down the nervous system. So Gelsemium 30, just over the counter, some remedies, some tablets, will ease the transition for the child to go into these unfamiliar situations. If you want to have a little bit more of a personalized advice, please email me on info@medicanova.net or at my website medicanova.net. Another beautiful remedy here which comes to mind is Pulsatilla nigrans or Pulsatilla. And it's a delicate perennial plant. It has a long history of medical use, and in the 18th century it was used for cataracts, for ulcers, for tooth decay and even depression. Now in homeopathy, the source of the remedy is often used for common colds and coughs, digestive system, gynecological symptoms. It's also called basket flower, windflower, meadow anemone, and is native to Russia, Germany, Scandinavia, this area, and belongs to the family of Ranunculaceae. The core essence of Pulsatilla is softness, very different frequency. So for them, often students who represents this personality type, the world is a little bit harsh. It's too much to take in. And in young children, you will see that they become very clingy and weepy. So mommy takes the little girl to kindergarten and she says, no, don't go, mommy, stay, and starts to cry and even creates a fit. That is very much a core essence which feels often abandoned, lost. Even if the child is loved to death, it still feels easily or sensitive to feeling or being left alone or leaving the familiar, that environment. Pulsatilla can be very helpful here. Another situation would be maybe a breastfeeding mother who decides to stop breastfeeding but has a little bit difficulty with attachment as well as the child. Both can benefit beautifully from this remedy, Pulsatilla 30. Another wonderful remedy which I can suggest in this situation is Lycopodium clavatum, or just Lycopodium. It is also called wolf's claw, club moss, running pine, staghorn moss, and is native to mountain and forest areas of the northern hemisphere, and it's in the family of Lycopodiaceae, or the fern family. And even in the 17th century, they used the yellow powder of the spores for urinary retention or for gout. The core essence of Lycopodium is really about lack of confidence, but here the child starts to cover it up and, appears bossy and dominating and I know it all. So when they are asked to go on stage and perform or recite a poem, they're terribly anxious prior to the event because they maybe think, what will happen if I lose my lines? Then they maybe see I'm a fake. That's terrible. Or before an exam, they get maybe sweaty palms and they get very anxious. They're usually very intelligent and they take in information quite fast, and so they often can get away with that insecurity. And to their surprise, all this anxiety before the exam subsides quite quickly once they enter into the performance. They do actually quite well. And because of this sort of covering up behavior, they have a different mannerism in school than at home. So in school they're seen as well-behaved, conscientious, they really accept authority, but at home they become the boss and they start dominating subordinates or, little siblings. And you can see the difference here. Again, Lycopodium can be very helpful here in terms of just easing them into themselves so they feel much more at home. Another remedy which comes to mind is Ignacio amara or Ignacia, and it's a homeopathic remedy we use a lot for emotional problems. In the Spanish Jesuit, they introduced it to the Europe in the 17th century, and in Orthodox medicine it was used for gout, for epilepsy, for cholera. The seeds contain strychnine, which is a powerful poison, but of course in homeopathy that's not active, that's not in there. And it belongs to the family, again like Gelsemium, to Leucinaceae. The core essence of Ignacia is grief, bereavement and anger. So the student who can benefit from the remedy Ignacia really feels sad, homesick, loss, maybe there was a relationship breakup, but also with a suppression of feelings. A teenager who leaves high school and is now entering college life, they in the beginning feel really cool and excited, and I'm leaving home and the family and I become an adult and it's all wonderful. But a few weeks into the semester, they realize reality sets in and they maybe feel homesick. But because being a teenager, you don't want to expose your feelings, so you suppress it or you keep it inside. That can also affect the school performance. Ignacio amara can really help the student or the child, not that this external situation has changed, but it can help the student to adapt to the external life much easier. When a young child comes to you and tells you that I have stomach aches before he or she has to go to school, particularly on a continuous basis, I reassure you 99% of this is an emotional issue. Either the best friend was now substituted with another best friend, and of course the young child cannot rationally explain that, but it feels the loss. Or there is bullying going on, or teasing going on, or even a teacher has scolded the child now numerous times, and the child feels very unsure of themselves and very sad. Often it comes out in stomach pains. And when you see that, look behind that physical symptom and look for the emotional aspect here. Another completely different remedy, which is also over the counter available, is a flower essence, and it belongs to the repertoire of the buff flower remedies. It's called Walnut. These are very refined remedies and are made from the collection of the dewdrops sitting in the early morning on the petals of the plant, and which carry the healing frequencies. Walnut is very specific for adapting to change. So you have 5 drops in a glass of water and take it throughout the day, or give it 5 drops to your child, before he or she leaves to school. And that can go on for 2 or 3 months, depending on how long the child needs to adapt to a new situation, and then you stop. Of course, right now we are changing on the physical level from the warmer season to the colder season. We're also transitioning into another phase on the physical level. Here I suggest give your children a good vitamin mineral supplement, as well as maybe some children's vitamin C on a daily basis, just for 6 or 8 weeks, again to help the body to adjust to the temperature changes. I hope this short video has given you a brief insight that over-the-counter homeopathic remedies can easily be applied for the well-being of your children and teenagers, so they can adjust with joy and excitement to these life-changing events. If you want to know and learn more about my teachings in homeopathy and quantum healing, I encourage you to get my book, The Dance of Your Core Healing, or one of my online courses. The course Thriving with Homeopathy, which is a practical guide for the family and beyond, would be very, very great for you. A second course which I offer is Thriving with Homeopathy for Birthing Life. It's a practical guide for midwives, doulas, childbirth educators and nurses, but also for expecting mothers. And my favorite course, Being and Living Quantum Healing, Transforming Your Mind, Body and Soul in the New World. Although these courses are offered in an online format, I will guide you step by step through the entire material and therefore offer you individual tutorial or guidance, which you usually do not get with online courses. They are beautifully designed and become a constant companion on your journey to optimal health. Have a look at my website, medicanova.net. Subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much for that. I, at the moment, post videos every 2 weeks. And if you have any comments about your individual cases, please email me or leave your comments below. And in the meantime, much, much love. Take care till next time.